6 days to demolition. New tonight on Our News, live at 7, Shantytown residents in Cool Acres put on notice. The Works Minister says demolition of illegal structures begins on Monday. But first, a session at the gym ends tragically for a man who was gunned down outside the facility. What investigators are telling us about the victim. Plus, breaking records. Tourist arrival numbers in 2023 officially surpassed the country's 2019 banner year. More than 7 million visitors have come to our shores.
Whether it's for the ghouls or the booze, I'm Jamila Mizik with all the spectacular Halloween favorites. Straight ahead on Our News.
Then in Our News at 7:30, the new energy minister reveals plans to recoup $21 million in taxpayer dollars from BPL's deal with Wartsila. Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. We are still following the situation in that Cool Acres Shantytown where residents have been evicted. Demolition expected to begin as early as this coming Monday. The Works Minister speaks with us on the way forward in just a bit. But now to this tragic story. A man who police say was on bail was gunned down outside a popular gym in the parking lot of a crowded shopping plaza. The violence leaving bystanders shocked. Our Joshua Williams was at the scene.
Let me just say how disgusted I am tonight with this particular incident.
The victim met his violent end around 8 p.m. when patrons at MacFit 360's Harbor Bay location are normally wrapping up their workouts and leaving for the evening. But last night, their routines were disrupted by the sounds of gunshots as a 29-year-old man was gunned down.
And as he exited the gym, a light-colored Japanese vehicle pulled up. The occupants opened fire on the victim, shooting him multiple times. He succumbed to his injuries on scene.
Skipping says this is not the first time the victim has had run-ins with the law.
Earlier this year, the victim was also shot. He was in our custody. Detectives spoke with him, but he failed to provide the intelligence needed to resolve whatever conflict there was between him and the alleged perpetrators.
In addition to being shot, the victim was also on bail for attempted murder. Skipping says parents need to do more.
You know your children have weapons. You've seen the weapons in the home, but you're of the notion that these weapons will not be used on you. Well, let me say to you, the day of reckoning is coming, because the same weapons that your sons use to injure other people, these weapons will be turned on you.
When asked about parents being responsible for their adult children's actions, Skippings gave this passionate response.
They know exactly what their adult children are into. While they may not be able to direct their thoughts, they should be able to have some level of influence to speak to their adult children and say to them, look here, the road that you're going down is the wrong path.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Joshua. And we've got reaction from patrons of the establishment where this happened. Some calling it beyond heartbreaking and sad. That's coming up in Our News at 7:30. Meantime, 2 men are in custody after police concluded investigations into separate murders. 28-year-old Desmond Gilbert is accused of the October 21st murder of Valentino McKenzie. According to police, McKenzie was in front of his home on 1st Street when 2 gunmen emerged from a car and shot him multiple times. And 26-year-old Ringo Ellis is charged with the May 21st murder of Darren Bastian at Jackson Street in Nassau Village. Now, according to police, Bastian was at a takeaway when the occupants of a gray car opened fire on him. Both Gilbert and Ellis weren't asked to plead to the charges when they appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. They were denied bail. They're expected back in court on February 8th. And we now know when demolition will begin on 2 shanty towns in New Providence. That's this Monday, November 6th. The announcement made at a press conference this morning where Works and Family Island Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting told reporters that illegal structures will be torn down in Cool Acres and All Saints Shantytown. Now, Sweeting says this action is necessary.
In New Providence alone, there accessed more than 10 unregulated communities. Over the years, you have reported on the consequences of unregulated structures, particularly the fires endangering lives, and putting a strain on emergency services. It is time to address this issue head on.
All right, and the Works Minister had a lot more to say on the matter. Joshua Williams, he's got the full story coming up in our news at 7:30. Well, 2023 already a record-breaking year for tourist arrivals. We've got a look at the numbers up to September, which surpassed the 7.2 million recorded in 2019. Before we get to the numbers, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, ending November on a good note. But there's a front coming through, and that's going to change our weather for the balance of the week. But
sure, because last night, boy, I could feel the heat.
Yeah, it was a little bit on the humid side. I think our men got down to about 78. So,
yeah.
But once this front goes through, we should see some cooler temperatures as well as some breezy conditions. 82 degrees outside our studios right now with a few clouds. The winds out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. And that's making it feel like a comfortable 86. Temperatures around the islands right now at 79 in Freeport, 80 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 82s in Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key here in the capital. Nicholstown and Governor's Harbor, 81. Central Bahamas, 82 in Kemps Bay, as well as Georgetown, Deadman's Key. Arthurstown, Cat Island, 81. Coburn Town, San Salvador, 82. And in the southeast Bahamas, there is a surface trough down there. Duncan down at Ragged Island with 82 and some showers nearby, as well as in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island. Delectable Bay, you guys are 83. 82 all over in Abrahams Bay. Matthew Town, Inago, 84. And our good neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands, you guys are 85. Satellite radar composite showing quiet conditions across most of the islands. That surface trough, as I mentioned, hanging out near the southeast and central Bahamas. Quite a bit of activity down there, some showers and thunderstorms. Inago, you got into some thunderstorms as well. There are a few showers just to the north of the Bahamas, but we are watching a front, or we are anticipating a front that's across central Florida, actually moving into central Florida right now, should be into the northwest Bahamas by tomorrow, and that's going to usher in a change in our weather for the rest of the week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. So look at the extended forecast is still to come.
We are just getting started in our news, but when we come back, 2023 already a record-breaking year for tourist arrivals. Officials report more than 7.2 million. And a look at what's on our radar, including the ongoing fraud trial of FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Plus,
Whether it's for the ghouls or the booze, I'm Jamila Mizik with all the spooktacular Halloween favorites.
our news is back in a moment.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
We are still following activities in the lead up to the November 22nd by-election in West Grand Bahama, and Bimini still on our radar. Nomination day set for November 6th. That's next Monday. We're also learning about a potential date for the advance poll, which we understand may happen in about 2 weeks or so. Meanwhile, the FNM is set to host a rally in Holmes Rock tonight with a motorcade planned tomorrow. The PLP also rallying on November 3rd. That's this Friday at the Jonestown Park. Also on our radar this week, the ongoing fraud trial of Sam Bankman-Fried in New York, expected to wrap after the FTX founder gave 3 days of testimony that began last Friday. We're learning that he was questioned today about his apparent cozy relationship with Bahamian officials. We'll have more on this coming up in our news this week, so be sure and stay tuned for that. The Bahamas hitting another tourism milestone as Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper says the Bahamas surpassed 7.2 million visitor arrivals at the end of September. That's the same amount of arrivals saw in 2019, which was touted as a banner year for tourism.
Which means, as I stand here today, we have exceeded the full year 2019 numbers already at the end of September. Wow. So that record has fallen. Yep. And this year is already our new record year.
The Deputy Prime Minister telling parliamentarians the first 9 months saw 1.3 million air arrivals and 5.8 million arrivals by sea. He said September 2023 air and sea arrivals increased by 50%.
Cruise arrivals for the beginning of the year through September up 60% over the corresponding period in 2022 and 45% ahead of 2019. Foreign air arrivals, which represent stopover visitors, are up 20% over the same period in 2022 and through September. We are right at the number of 2019, as I've said. Hotel occupancy is up over 2019, with average daily rates and room revenues significantly ahead.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Israel's prime minister says no to a ceasefire with Hamas. This as an anti-war protest erupts ahead of a U.S. Congress hearing on aid for Israel and Ukraine. Plus, we'll tell you why Haiti's government bans flights to Nicaragua when our news returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned as cruel psychological propaganda a video that was released on Monday by Hamas showing 3 of the hostages seized by the Islamist movement on October 7th. This as Tel Aviv said its forces freed a soldier from Hamas captivity during the ground offensive in the Gaza Strip. Ryan Chang reports.
Israel's Prime Minister condemned a video that Hamas had released on Monday that shows 3 female hostages seized by the Islamist movement on October 7th. In the video, which is being watched on this phone, one of the hostages criticizes Benjamin Netanyahu for failing to protect Israeli citizens during the deadly attack and failing to get them back home. She purportedly calls for a deal to secure their release in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. Netanyahu, in a statement, condemned the clip from Hamas as cruel propaganda. Israel's leader is coming under pressure over his handling of the crisis. Dozens of people attended a protest in Tel Aviv to call for the hostages' release. Shiri Grossbard is a close friend of one of the hostages, Yelena Tripanov.
I'm not a political person. I'm not the one with the answers, but I do know this. No other country in the world would have 239 of their people being kept hostage and not do anything about it. No politics, just bring them home now. 24 days is way too long for these people to be kept in captivity.
According to Israeli authorities, at least 239 hostages were taken captive by Hamas gunmen during the October 7th attack, which killed at least 1,400 people. The presence of the hostages in Gaza has complicated Israel forces' ground operation in the enclave, but Netanyahu has rejected calls for a ceasefire. Gaza health authorities say more than 8,300 people, many of them children, have been killed in Israeli attacks since Hamas' assault.
The ground action actually creates the possibility, not the certainty, but the possibility of getting our hostages out, because Hamas will not do it unless they're under pressure. They simply will not do it.
On Monday, Israel said its forces had freed their first hostage during its Gaza ground offensive, a female soldier who Hamas captured in its October 7th raid. Israel's security agency released a photo of the soldier, Ori Megadish, surrounded by family members after her rescue. In her hometown of Kiryat Gat, residents cheered after news of her release. Since the October 7th attack, Hamas has released 4 hostages through back-channel efforts coordinated by Qatar.
Meanwhile, 2 of President Joe Biden's top advisors asked U.S. lawmakers to provide billions more dollars to Israel on Tuesday at a congressional hearing interrupted repeatedly by protesters denouncing American officials from backing what they called genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. As the hearing began, a line of anti-war protesters raised red-stained hands in the air. Capitol Police later removed them from the room after shouting slogans including "Ceasefire now," "Protect the children of Gaza," and "Stop funding genocide." Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin testified to the Senate Appropriations Committee on Biden's request for $106 billion to fund ambitious plans for Ukraine, Israel, and U.S. border security. Biden argues that supporting U.S. partners is vital to national security. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried took the stand in his criminal trial for the 3rd and final time today. It's his last shot at convincing a Manhattan jury after pleading not guilty to fraud. Much of the 4-week trial consisted of his former friends and top lieutenants testifying against him. The 31-year-old former billionaire, whose Bahamas-based crypto business spiraled into bankruptcy last November, told jurors in his first day on the stand he didn't commit fraud and that he thought FTX's outside expenditures came out of company profits. And Friends stars say they are utterly devastated by Matthew Perry's death. Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer issued a joint statement Monday night to address the deaths of their longtime co-star on Saturday. The statement reads, "We were more than just mates, we are a family." It goes on to say, "In time we will say more, as and when we are able. For now, our thoughts and our love are with Matty's family, his friends, and everyone who loved him around the world." Perry, who was found dead in a tub at his Los Angeles home on Saturday, was best known for playing Chandler Bing For 10 seasons between 1994 and 2004, they all reunited in 2021 for the Friends Reunion Special. And from the region, Haiti's government has banned all charter flights to Nicaragua, frequently used by migrants fleeing poverty and violence in their quest to reach the United States. Charlotte Hughes from France 24 reports.
Some surrounded by their luggage and others with small children. Thousands of travellers were left stranded in the parking lot of Haiti's main international airport. It comes after Haiti's government suspended all Nicaragua-bound flights, according to a bulletin issued Monday. A move which puts a block on a major route for Haitians fleeing poverty and violence in their quest to reach the US.
We cannot work, we cannot go to school. We want to find a safe space to live and the state cannot give it to us. So we've chosen another place. The Prime Minister is preventing us from finding it.
I sold my land, everything I own, for $3,000 to $4,000 when Ariel made this decision without warning us. What about all our expenses? How's he going to help us?
The Haitian government did not provide an explanation for the decision in its bulletin. According to the Miami Herald, the Port-au-Prince to Managua flights, which began in August, have been taken by more than 31,000 Haitians. Nicaragua was a popular destination for Haitian migrants, beginning their journey to the US-Mexico border after it suspended visa requirements for Haitians. The Nicaraguan leader, Daniel Ortega, has since been accused of deliberately using his country as a pass-through for migrants, in order to push the US to lift sanctions against his government. The move to end flights comes as the crisis in Haiti worsens. The country is the poorest in the Western Hemisphere, with violent gangs now estimated to control up to 80% of the capital.
Still to come on Our News, Today in History, find out interesting facts about the day that was October 31st. Then in Our News at 7:30, residents in a Cool Acres Shantytown evicted as demolition of illegal structures set for November 6th. Plus, it's Halloween night. Will it be a trick or treat? Either or, police say safety is the order of the day. The story when Our News returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS.
Welcome back to Our News. It's time now to turn on spotlight on events that shaped the day that was October 31st. Take a look. On this day in Bahamian history in 2014, the cruise ship Bahamas Celebration, while departing from Freeport en route to Palm Beach, Florida, struck an unknown object. The ship had to stay in port, and passengers were rescued by a Resorts World Bimini superfast vessel. They were all later taken to their intended destination. And in 2020, Scottish-born British actor Sean Connery died in Lyford Key. He was 90 years old. Connery, who was a permanent resident in the Bahamas, was best known for playing Ian Fleming's fictional British spy James Bond on the big screen, as well as other notable roles in films such as The Hunt for Red October, The Untouchables, Finding Forrester, and The Name of the Rose. An autopsy showed the actor died from pneumonia-triggered respiratory failure, atrial fibrillation, and old age. All right, well, it's Halloween night, and that means you may find some trick-or-treaters at your door awaiting their share of sweet treats. But what costumes might you be seeing tonight? Our Jamila Mizik, she's in the Halloween spirit. Take a look.
From the gruesome zombie to the friendly ghost, this Halloween, thousands around the world will put their creativity to the test to concoct the best costumes. But what will top the list? Over at Partyland in the Harbor Bay Plaza, officials say although children were their most popular customers this time around, adults were also stopping by for their Halloween looks. Manager Mitzi Butler tells us what's trending this year.
Chucky, Michael Myers, Jason.
Butler says they've seen big business this year from those partaking in all the spooktacular festivities. But costumes aren't the only things flying off the shelves. She says customers have also been purchasing props to add to the screams and scares.
We were surprised, actually, and persons have started their Halloween shopping since last week. So all week we've been busy.
And what's Halloween with all tricks and no treats? Of course, candies and sweets are always a popular Halloween favorite.
Well, most persons, they come for the mix, the party mix, because they don't just want to give just one type of candies. You know, they have an assortment of candies that they would prefer to give out. So they get like a bag of mixed candies and mixed chocolates.
And although today is Halloween, she says you still have time to get your supplies.
It's been brought to our attention that there are going to be a lot more parties on the weekend. So we're extending everything, you know, throughout the rest of this week.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jamila Mizik.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Jamila. To watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia, did you get Saint a costume this year?
I did not. Maybe next year. I was watching Jamila's story. It was really good, but
it was spooky. It was spooky at the top, right?
It was spooky at the top, but great job, Jamila.
Were you a big trick-or-treater?
No, I was not.
You know,
we went to church.
I will tell I'd say, but I will tell you that, you know, from Tarpon Bay, Eleuthera, so many times, many Halloweens in Tarpon Bay, I did it. So, yeah. All so right. Hopefully Saint will have
Maybe
his own time
year.
too, right?
All right. Yeah. Thanks so much, Ken. Well, residents in a Cool Acre Shantytown evicted as demolition of illegal structures set for November 6th. Plus, it's Halloween night. Will it be a trick or treat? Here are your latest headlines. Time is up. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30. In less than a week, residents of two major shanty towns will have to move. This is government moves to demolition. Also, gym goers are reacting to that murder outside a popular gym last night, plus additional power generation. Now the focus of Bahamas Power and Light following a terminated agreement. And later, it's the night of Halloween. Many youngsters taking part in trick-or-treating activities. But hear why police are telling parents to be on alert when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Have you heard that sound? It's the sound of us. Since our origins, we burst music. Our sounds mixed together. So let us hear your sound too. Your sound of passion, of joy, of friendship. The sound of your style and the beat of your night. It's time to play together the sound of Guinness, the sounds of greatness.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Collect verse access is as easy as grab a collect, scan a.
Welcome to our news and thank you for joining us. I'm Italia Hall. Officials at the power company are now trying to recoup millions of taxpayer dollars reportedly lost trying to improve the Clifton Pier station. Their improvements were a part of an agreement with Wärtsilä company, which has since been terminated. The new energy minister revealing as much today and talks about plans to acquire more power generation. But before we get to that story, Demolition Day for 2 Shantytowns is set for early next week. The announcement was made at the office of the Prime Minister this morning. Our Joshua Williams was there and has the details.
Monday, November 6. That's the date given for demolition to begin on the Cool Acres and All Saints Way Shantytowns. It will come a week after the 28-day eviction notice given to residents living in the unregulated communities expired on Monday. Works and Family Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting says this action is necessary.
In New Providence alone, there accessed more than 10 unregulated communities. Over the years, you have reported on the consequences of unregulated structures, particularly the fires, endangering lives, and putting a strain on emergency services. It is time to address this issue head on.
Sweeting adds that the law will be fully enforced.
On the day of demolition, strict access control will be enforced to ensure the safety of the process. After demolition, we will engage in a thorough assessment to ensure the sites remain secure against re-establishment of unregulated structures.
Now, Minister Sweeting says social services will be assisting those Bahamian residents that do live in these unregulated communities.
This is a task force that comprises of various agencies and ministries to ensure that it's done in a humane manner, it's done in a proper manner, and it's enforced in the right way.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks, Joshua. The murder outside the MacFit 360 gym of the Harbor Bay Shopping Center yesterday, leaving many in shock. Our News was on scene last night where police said a 29-year-old man was gunned down as he exited the gym shortly before 8 p.m. Revisiting the gym this morning, we spoke to patrons, 2 of them telling us that despite what happened, they're not afraid.
For the most part, this is a safe area. Like I said, they were targeted. Now, if they'd have come inside the gym, that would have been a different story. But he was targeted. He was targeted, unfortunately.
This is a place where, people come to get healthy and fit, and, all sorts of ages are here. And yeah, you think, whoa, is it safe to come back? I am not afraid. I am fearless because of Christ that lives within me. I am not afraid. I'm still coming back because I got to stay fit. I got to be healthy.
Now, Our News reached out to management at the gym, but they declined to comment. But one shopper in the area believes that the gym should have been closed today.
I'm afraid now because I'm not coming around here right now. And I'm sitting out here and it's business as usual, no respect for the dead. I feel like they should at least close for 24 hours to respect. Come on, man. Oh, Lord. This here is dangerous because there's not too much light in here and it's an easy escape route. And there's not enough security, to be honest with you. And I think that they should have more security and then different things.
Bahamas Power and Light officials now trying to find ways to recoup the millions of funds they claim were lost in improving the station at Clifton Pier. In this report, our Berthing McDermott tells us with the Wärtsilä agreement now terminated, the power company is looking to acquire additional power generation in time for the summer.
One day after it was revealed that BPL saw a $21 million cost overrun for improvements at the Station A power plant, Energy Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis says the power company is looking at ways to bring finances back in alignment. She says there are also plans in place for maintenance work.
We are having discussions with the finance team on how we could realign some of our expenses and to bring some better controls in place. So you would have heard me mention a look at our supply chain. So that's going to be important because it controls procurement, our purchase orders, and how we do business going forward to make sure that everything the cost isn't a wastage, but it's more management.
She adds the plan is to change the fuel mix to lower cost. A report on the agreement between Wärtsilä and BPL revealed the cost ballooned from $96.9 million to $117.9 million. The new management board at BPL terminated the agreement with Wärtsilä. As a result, the power company now has to find ways to source generation in time for the summer load in 2024.
Some discussions are happening with companies that we've did prior business with, and some discussions to maybe seeking out new partnerships and strategic partnerships that will help us to provide the generation and the electricity to the Bahamian public. And our schedule right now is a 6 months run up to getting us in a position to be able to provide reliability and affordability for the summer seasons.
Now, as for Station A at the Clifton Pier Power Plant, Colby-Davis says they're looking for ways to address the issue.
That's a greater cost, so I'm discussing with CEO Cambridge. He does have some other ideas, and so he's trying to iron them out because this is a great deal of money, and the cost burden has always been tried to spread across how we recoup it in the utility company without bringing such a burden on the public.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks, Berthany. Well, fairly nice temperatures outside the Our News studios this evening. Wondering what else we can expect for the rest of the work week? Well, meteorologist Greg Thompson is live in the Weather Center with your first check on weather. Greg, it's Halloween night. What can persons expect?
Nice conditions outside. Make sure you don't shoot off too much of those fireworks. You got some animals out there that really get excited. But yeah, it's going to be comfortable outside. No rain in the forecast, but we do expect the frontal boundary to get in here. 81 degrees outside right now, few clouds. The winds out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour, and the feels like temperature is at 86. Satellite and radar composite showing nothing much happening across us. We do have a stationary surface trough near the southeast Bahamas that's triggering some showers and some thunderstorms down there. Also a couple isolated showers to the north of the Bahamas. That's all associated with a low pressure system that the National Hurricane Center was watching, but that has weakened. Upper level winds have basically shredded that system. But we are watching this front. This front is going to get in here sometime by tomorrow, and we expect to have very strong winds behind that. So boating and beaching will become a challenge once again for the remainder of the week. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at the tropics, and your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, candy, costumes, and pumpkins is usually all a part of the Halloween theme. Here why police say safety is key. Also, we give you an inside look at a night of culinary and arts at the Bahama Resort when Our News continues.
First we plan, then we innovate.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Introducing the
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected.
We are still following activities in the lead up to the November 22nd by-election in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Still on our radar, nomination day set for November 6th. That's next Monday. We're also learning about a potential date for the advance poll, which we understand may happen in about 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the F&M is set to host a rally in Holmes Rock tonight with a motorcade planned for tomorrow. The PLP also rallying on November 3rd. That's this Friday at the Jonestown Park. Also on our radar, the ongoing fraud trial of Sam Bankman-Fried in New York expected to wrap after the FTX founder gave 3 days of testimony. We are learning that he was questioned today about his apparent cozy relationship with Bahamian officials. We'll have more on this coming up in our news this week, so be sure and stay tuned for that. It's October 31st, which means that many will be celebrating Halloween, and whether you're spending the night in or heading out for some family fun, safety is the order of the day. Police Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Christine Skippings cautioned parents to not send their youngsters out tonight unattended.
Ensure that they wear light-colored clothing. Ensure that you remain on the sidewalk. Ensure that the persons who you're going to are reputable people, persons of integrity. Make sure that you don't go through any side cuts, any shortcuts. And also I want parents to please do not allow your children to eat any of the treats obtained from trick-or-treating until you get home and you've properly checked those candies and chips to ensure that they do not have any harmful substances inside of it.
And she has a stern warning for those who may want to use tonight as an opportunity for criminal activity.
We are going to be out in full numbers. We have our saturation patrol units, we have our secure city patrol units, we have our Operation Ceasefire units, as well as units from all of the stations throughout New Providence and the Family of Islands. Officers are going to be out and about, and we're going to be seeking those persons who try to use this opportunity for criminal mischief. So I'd send a word of caution to those persons who have criminal intent. Tonight is not a good night for it.
The Bahamas Culinary Art Festival is officially in the history books. Completing its second year, the annual event hosted by the Bahama Resort displayed tasty dishes, live cooking demos, and artistic pleasantries. Our Daniel Miller was there and gives us this recap.
Welcome again to the Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahama.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was homegrown DJ Super Mario and artist Preston Hanna. Just two of the many local artists who displayed their talents at the Bahamas Culinary and Art Festival hosted by the Bahama Resort this past weekend. The well-attended event featured countless international and local celebrity chefs.
They embraced me because I think they're all about the local culture. Local people, local culture, and not just in food, but in art, in music, and everything else. The DJ that we had today DJ Rev, one of my favorite local DJs, played only Bahamian music, and so that's one of the things that Bahama has been really, really good at.
As mentioned by Bahamas President Graham Davis, what makes this festival so unique is the vision to make it the epicenter and Art Basel of the Caribbean, here in the Bahamas for the future.
So as a young Bahamian artist, it means a lot because it's something that I can share with my students in the classroom and let them know what the experience was like, and to let them know that we as Bahamians, we're supporting Bahamian talent.
This luxurious yet down-home experience has already taken a special place in the hearts of many attendees and vendors, creating a space for food, art, culture, and consequential partnerships.
At this festival, in comparison to last year, it just keeps on getting better and better. You see that this year is in the Convention Center Ballroom, and it was such a huge experience dealing with such partnerships with other chefs and also bartenders and mixologists here, also the artists. You can't forget the artists. They did such a tremendous job trying to make sure that this festival kicked off to what it's supposed to look like. And this is what you call where flavor and culture is created.
And there you have it, 3 full days of the Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival here at the Bahama Resort. I hope you had a good time, because we sure did. I'm Danielle Miller, reporting for Our News.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
The Don't Blink Home Run Derby is returning and DeAndre Ayton dominates the North. Don't go anywhere, our sports is coming up next.
Warm weather on this Tuesday, but a cold front is expected in the forecast. Greg is back with your extended weather when Our News returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Introducing
This is our news. Welcome back. The Don't Blink Home Run Derby will make its return for a 6th year. Here's Tej Adderley with a check on sports. Tej?
Thanks, Italia. Welcome to Our Sports. I'm Tej Adderley. The Don't Blink Home Run Derby has evolved over the years from being a home run derby to a full-fledged celebration of Bahamian baseball. This year's edition may be the best one yet.
We're really excited to showcase, the up-and-coming talent here in the Bahamas. The guys that's leading the way like Jazz, Lucius, Deshaun, Andre, Arthur, and just all the guys that's in the minor leagues just doing a great job being leaders of our sport here in the Bahamas.
That's Todd Isaacs Jr., co-founder and one of the organizers of the Don't Blink Home Run Derby. This year's edition of the event will run from December 6th through the 10th and will pit the best prospects from the Bahamas against players from around the world. Here's Lucius Fox Jr. talking about the event.
I express to you how excited I am for this year's competition. With it being the 50th anniversary, this is our 6th year, and this is the first time we have the Bahamians versus the world. In years past, we've done Team Isaacs versus Team Fox. That's squared away.
They will partner with the MLB Players Association, the Players Alliance, and Minority Baseball to hold a showcase scouting event and donate to youth baseball in the Bahamas. The week will culminate, as always, with the Home Run Derby featuring the top prospects in all of baseball. Moving things back to the court, DeAndre Ayton beasted out to help his Trailblazers get their first win of the season right here in Toronto. The Portland Trailblazers center has had an uneven first couple of games with his new team, but he beasted out last night in Toronto, scoring 10 points and pulling down a ridiculous 23 rebounds, along with 2 blocks and a steal to shut down the paint and help the team get the 99-91 win over the Toronto Raptors, their first of the season. The Blazers are in the midst of a rebuild, having traded future Hall of Famer Damian Lillard and having drafted 19-year-old point guard Scoot Henderson. Ayton and the Blazers have a chance to pick up a second straight win in Detroit tomorrow night. That's all the sports we have for today. I'm Tej Adderley.
Looking for some cooler temperatures? Well, if you answered yes, your wish just may come through. This as a cold front is expected this week. Greg will tell you all about it in your extended forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't.
Welcome back to our news. It's time to pull out your coats. This has some cool weather is expected in the forecast this week. Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg?
Yeah, thanks again, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for our final check. Yeah, we expect some cooler weather as well as some very windy conditions, so beaching and boating will become a challenge. So we're asking you, boaters and you beachgoers, starting tomorrow evening and into the remainder of the week, stay in port and stay out of the waters because it's going to get really, really rough out there. Tropics, we're winding down. October's closing out. We're still tracking one system, believe it or not, out there in the Atlantic, actually in the Caribbean. Time frame for that, November 2nd through the 4th, for it to continue to move towards the west and into Central America for some further development. But this system is not going to really do much as a high-pressure system out in the open Atlantic to the north of the northeast of the Bahamas, in the mid and upper levels. Will continue to steer that system down towards the west. Closer to home, we have a trailing trough from a low-pressure system that we were watching over the last couple of days with some showers and thunderstorms across the central and southeast Bahamas. That will pull out of our area, but some moisture will hang around. And of course, this is the broad area of low pressure in the eastern Caribbean, that's going to be moving towards the west, and we expect that to have some chance for development. National Hurricane Center giving that a medium to a high chance for further development. Boating in the northwest Bahamas, caution flag will be put up tomorrow, but that will quickly change, becoming requesting you boaters to stay in port. Northwest and northerly winds at 15 to 20 knots. They will be increasing 20 to 30 knots by tomorrow evening, so it's going to get downright rough. 4 to 6 foot seas, they will be building. High tide will be at 10:33 tonight, the low tide at 4:33 in the morning. For the central and southeast Bahamas, a north to northeast flow at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. But those winds will be increasing in the central Bahamas as well, so we're asking you boaters once again to stay in port starting tomorrow. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, a cold front will move into the northwest Bahamas late tonight and into early tomorrow, and should move into the central Bahamas, so we'll keep some showers in the forecast with that front, but it's going to get very windy and very rough. Hazardous beaching and boating. Temperatures will take a nice dip, so we're looking for some low 80s during the daytime, and those temperatures will stay in the low to mid 70s at night. That's a look at our weather. Back to you, Talia.
All right, Greg, I understand that things are expected to get pretty cool in my hometown, Grand Bahama.
Yeah, you guys are going to see some nice temperatures up there.
Wow. All right, get your coats out. It's going to get really, really chilly. Thanks so much, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.